You see them all day long, right? Emails, texts, messages, each with a link. It seems so harmless. But what if I told you that one single, almost mindless click could set off a complete disaster? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the massive hidden dangers that are lurking behind that one simple click.
Okay, so let's just jump right into the stakes here. Take a look at this number, $4.88 million. That's not a typo. According to IBM, that's the average cost of a data breach that kicks off with just one person clicking on one bad link. Think about that. A tiny lapse in judgment can spark a multi-million-dollar fire for a company.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The crucial thing to understand is that this isn't about hacking computers, it's about hacking people. Attackers know something really important. The human mind, with all our natural instincts and emotions, is way easier to crack than a sophisticated security system. We are the vulnerability they're going after. So let's dive into how they do it. This is where we get into the psychology of the click. Okay, so how exactly are they hacking our minds? Well, attackers have a whole toolkit of psychological tricks, and they're all designed to do one thing: bypass your rational brain. They do this by hitting 5 core emotional buttons: fear, urgency, authority, greed, and of course, curiosity. First up is a big one: authority bias. We're all basically wired to trust people who seem to be in charge. You know, a CEO, a government agency, a brand we know and trust. Scammers absolutely love this. They'll pretend to be your bank, or the IRS, or even your boss, because they know our first instinct is usually to just do what they say and not question it. Then there's what's called the scarcity heuristic. This one's all about urgency. You've seen these messages a million times: limited time offer, or your account will be suspended in 24 hours. What they're doing is creating a fake panic. It taps right into our fear of missing out, that FOMO, and it pushes us to act fast without thinking things through.
But here's where it gets really clever and dangerous. The best scams don't just use one of these tricks. No, they mix them together into a powerful cocktail. Just look at a fake bank alert. It's got the bank's authority, it hits you with the fear of a bogus transaction, and then it piles on the urgency to secure your account now. By layering these triggers, they just completely overwhelm our ability to think clearly.
Okay, so we've got the psychology down. Now let's switch gears and look at the anatomy of the trap itself. How are these things actually built?
It usually starts with something that looks totally normal, something you've probably seen today. You get an email, and there's a link. Click here to secure your account. It sounds helpful, right? Like it's there to protect you.
But this is the most important question you have to burn into your brain. Where does it really go? You've got to ask this every single time, because I'm telling you, with these scams, what you see is almost never what you get.
And here's the trick, plain as day. The link looks perfect, bankofamerica.com/login. But the magic happens when you just hover your mouse over it without clicking. Suddenly, the real destination pops up, some sketchy domain that's just trying to look official. This is exactly why hover before you click is probably the most important digital habit you can build.
All right, now let's talk about something we were all taught for years. You know the rule. Look for the little padlock icon next to the website address. We were told that padlock means the site is secure, it's safe, you're good to go.
Well, I'm here to tell you that is no longer true. In fact, that advice is now flat out dangerous. The bad guys can get those padlocks for their fake sites easily and for free. They've turned the very symbol we were taught to trust into a weapon. All that padlock means is that your connection to their scam website is encrypted. It says absolutely nothing about whether the site itself is real or fake. So what's the worst that can happen if you do click? Well, you could be opening the gates to a whole zoo of nasty software. You've got ransomware, which locks up all your files and demands money. Then there's spyware, which is like having someone looking over your shoulder recording every single thing you type. Yep, all your passwords. And then you have Trojans, which sneak in and give an attacker total control over your device.
And just when you think you've got a handle on it, the game changes. The future of deception is already here, and it's powered by things like AI, deepfakes, and something called phishing.
AI is an absolute game changer for scammers. That old advice to look for typos? Totally useless now. AI can write flawless, convincing emails. It can scan your social media to create attacks that are tailored specifically to you. It can even clone your boss's voice for a phone call that sounds completely real. And now we're seeing new stuff like phishing. That's where they hide a malicious link inside a QR code you're tricked into scanning.
And the growth of this is it's staggering. We're talking about a surge of over 1,200% in AI-powered phishing attacks. This isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is the reality we're living in right now.
Okay, I know that sounds pretty bleak, but here's the good news. You are not defenseless. So let's talk about your proactive defense plan. It's time to build a firewall, not for your computer, but for your mind.
Here it is, your prevention playbook. Just 4 simple but incredibly powerful habits. Number 1, turn on multi-factor authentication on everything. It basically makes stolen passwords useless. 2, scrutinize those links. Remember, hover before you click. Check that domain. 3, for any important site, your bank, your email, never use a link from a message. Type the URL yourself or use a bookmark you already saved. And number 4, verify, verify, verify. Get a weird text from your boss asking for something? Pick up the phone and call them on a number you know is real to confirm.
So what this all boils down to is a new set of rules for trust. The old signals we used to rely on, spotting bad grammar, recognizing a voice, seeing that little padlock, they're becoming obsolete. We have to fundamentally change how we approach trust online.
And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. We're heading into a world of perfect fakes, a world where you can't automatically trust what you see or what you hear. So the question is, how will you verify what's real when your own senses can be turned against you?